like to call to order the meeting for August 2nd, your city council meeting. It's 6 o'clock. And we're going to stand for a moment of silence, and Mr. Rollette's going to lead us in the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Have a roll call, please, Ms. Young.
Mayor Jerome?
Here.
Mr. Roulette?
Here.
Mr. Crail?
Here.
Ms. Rich? Mr. Rolfson?
Here.
Mr. Slavy? Ms. Tillett?
Here. Now it's time for some public comment. Request that you limit your comments to 3 minutes and state your name and address before you start. First speaker will be Mr. Gillespie, and Mr. Gillespie is going to stay where he's at and just talk into the microphone there. Thank you.
I'll assume y'all can hear me.
Yes.
All right, Joe Gillespie, 2022 Sunset Road, Mount Dora, 32757. This is not an accusation, this is an observation. But as you know, we're into election season, and in our last election we had in Mount Dora, there was a lot of what I could see perceived access issues to some of our gated communities for all the candidates. And in driving around, I have noticed that the lakes of Mount Dora, there was only one political sign on that whole stretch for Carlos Baruch, while I know there are 4 people running for that Senate seat. And I'd just like to throw it out, and if there's an issue why the other 3 have not asked for their signs to be put up, or if Mr. Baruch is there only because he happens to be involved with the developer of the subdivision. It just looks strange.
If I usually don't comment, but I will comment real quick on that. That sign is on commercial property. It is not owned by the HOA, and it's his private property, it's his own property, and he owns it.
But there's nobody else there.
As he owns it, he has, as an owner, he can do what he wants on that. He's an owner. It's not inside of the gated area.
Smells.
That's the reason. So, thank you very much for your comments, Mr. Gillespie.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next speaker is Charlie. So, Sands. Sands. Thank you.
Hello, and thanks for letting me speak. In January of this year, a group of our community citizens got together intending to create a grassroots document that could eventually be used as a guide for tree preservation and tree care in the city of Mount Dora. The primary goal of our group was to keep the process completely local and with input from the entire community, especially given the fact that the group had access to 3 landscape architects, myself included, and a certified arborist that resided within the city limits and were more than willing to donate their time. We intended an eventual document that was not only created and accepted by the majority of residents, but embraced by the city in a true partnership with the community. On a deeper level, we hope that this inclusive, non-political exercise would begin the process of healing for a very lovely but very, very torn community. The group began by researching other similar Florida ordinances and pertinent literature on the preservation, care, and replacement of urban canopy, compiling and translating the research material into a legible and easily understood draft for citizen review. We wanted to keep as much of the research material in the draft to give citizens a point of beginning for constructive input, hoping to eventually, with everyone's help, reduce the size of the final document in half and make it our own. We titled this first research draft Mount Dora Strong and sent it to a community grassroots environmental group for constructive review. Unfortunately, some members of the community who were not part of the working group got hold of Mount Dora Strong, and a few of them, without understanding that it was a research draft, began posting negative criticism and innuendo on internet websites and newspapers. This did not help anyone except those posting the negative comments. Fortunately, many more residents provided us with positive and constructive comments and helped us produce a revised second draft better tailored for community needs. In our opinion, with this revision, the research draft was now ready for input and suggested changes that we needed from the entire community. We called it Mount Dora Green. Eager for this input, but realizing that the proposed ordinance would not be a success unless the city became a willing partner in the process, the Mount Dora Green draft was first presented to the city in good faith for staff review. Outside influences had not produced positive comments for our trees in the past, so we requested repeatedly that this review be kept entirely within our local community. That was in May of this year.
Can you wrap up your thoughts, please?
Just a minute.
Okay, thank you.
After 2 months of inactivity, the city offered no suggestions, but instead, without word, released our working draft to a non-local planning firm for review. After the shock wore off, I asked the city staffer that our group had been dealing with how a draft property that our group had spent upwards of 500 hours on and created only for local review could be released to an outside firm without discussing it with us. The staffer said that he did not consider discussion important, nor gave it any thought. Since this action negated our group's essential objective of trust and partnership with the city, I asked for our draft property to be returned to us and for the city to create its own document with which to seek outside review. He answered that it was a done deal, that the city was going to have an ordinance and use our draft regardless. Now, we understood that when we presented our draft,
Ms. Sands, excuse me, I'm gonna have to cut you, and at this point, we are gonna let you go a whole nother minute over 3.
all right,
There's
it's
other
only a whole other minute.
No, please, I'm gonna cut it there, and listen, we're trying to set this, we're trying to set a tone here for 3 minutes, I let it go a whole nother minute, please. And if I do that, then we're gonna be doing it for everybody who wants to come here in the future also.
He's gonna finish it up
He
for
does,
me.
no, hold on, please. I am running the meeting.
I can't believe you're doing this. You were behind this from the beginning.
Would you please just sit down right now, please? Thank you. I'm trying to be really nice here, okay? Next speaker is Mr. Tom Cutshaw.
Thank you. My name is Tom Cutshaw. I live at 346 East 6th Avenue, downtown Mount Dora, right over there. Okay, let me pick up where she left off if I could. Eager for this input, but realizing that the proposed ordinance would not be a success unless the city became a willing partner in the process, the Mount Dora Green draft was first presented to the city in good faith for staff review. Outside influence had not produced positive outcomes for our trees in the past, so we requested repeatedly that this review be kept entirely within our community. That was in May of this year. After 2 months of inactivity, the city offered no suggestions, but instead, without word, released our working draft to a non-local planning firm for review. Anytime we can get outsiders to give us some information for a lot of money, I guess that's a good thing to do. After the shock wore off, Charlie asked the city staff that our group had been dealing with how a draft property that our group had spent upwards of 500 hours on and created only for local review could be released to an outside firm without discussing it with us. The staffer said he did not consider discussion important, nor give it any thought. Since this action negated our group's essential objective of trust and partnership with the city, I asked that our draft property be returned to us and for the city to create its own document which to seek outside review. He answered that it was a done deal if the city was going to have an ordinance and use our draft regardless. Now we understand that when we presented our draft to the city for suggestions, it became a public document available for viewing on request. But appropriating the work that our group created and removing it from our process is another matter entirely. It may not be illegal, but it certainly creates deep feelings of mistrust and ill will. There is already enough of that to go around. If we are ever to begin to heal as a community, we all need to make an effort to get along. Almost done. Council is the best position to set an example. It sets policy, and the primary policy of the city of Mount Dora should be needs to be the one, Mount Dora should and needs to be the one of creating a feeling of trust and inclusiveness with the very community residents it is supposed to serve. Thank you.
Thank you. The next speaker is, I'll read Ms. Raikuma Fox. No? And next speaker is going to be Rosanna Bottle and the Reverend Lucius Taylor.
And on a lighter note,
Here's Ms. Bottle.
so,
Yes.
Rosanna Votto, 541 East First Avenue, and Reverend Lucius Taylor, Bethel Free Methodist Church in Mount Dora. Reverend Taylor and I are here to salute and thank the Mount Dora Police Department. We do not represent any organized group, but we do believe we represent all the citizens of Mount Dora. All of us have seen the news reports of the attacks on law enforcement, the people who are the thin blue line between civilization and anarchy. I've witnessed the community-based attitude of our police department countless times over the last 9 years. The police department's honor guard continues to conduct a flawless flag presentation for us at Patriot Cruise and Salute. They gather toys for kids at Christmas. You can have coffee with a cup. Last weekend, we all sweated through the distribution of bicycles, backpacks, and school supplies to a lot of happy kids. Countless residents have graduated from the Citizen Police Academy. I think this community-based spirit starts at the top with a police chief and a deputy who understand that we have to work together to live together. It is no surprise that our police department continues to be a fully accredited law enforcement agency, and that is no small feat. Leadership is key, and I thank Chief O'Grady and Deputy Chief Bell for the examples they set and all their officers who follow their lead. Without this kind of leadership, we could be one of those cities that nobody wants to see on the news. After Reverend Taylor makes his remarks, we have a banner to give to the police department that we hope will remind you daily that we know you have our backs, and we want you to know that we have yours.
To eliminate protocol, we say to all of you in your respective places, it gives me a great deal of honor. I consider this to be a pleasure to first of all even be a part of the Mount Dora area. Pastor Bethel Free Methodist Church for the past 42 years at Bethel 303 East Jackson Avenue. I want the Mount Dora City Police Department to know that you are appreciated rather than tolerated. We want you to know that we have your back. We need you. And on the other hand, you need us. There have been a breakdown in respect, both for our officers and for citizens as well. But I will say that in that meeting in Bethel 3 weeks ago, that was a beginning. Coming together is progress, but working together is success. I do not believe that we as a community have passed the point of no return. The citizens of Mount Dora want the police department to know we have your back. And we ask that this banner, as it is displayed in the precinct, we pray and it is our desire that when you see it, you will see the importance of your presence in our community.
You bet.
Thank you very much for a wonderful presentation. Thank you.
Salute you. Keep up the good work.
As you can see, Chief O'Grady is not here. On behalf of the Mount Vernon Police Department, I'm proud to accept this. We take a lot of pride in what we do for this community. Thank you.
Okay, approval of the agenda. On that, I just want to move proclamations and presentation in place of the approval. Let's switch those two items of the minutes.
I move the approval of the agenda with that change.
Oh, and there,
Oh, one more?
well, we got a couple more.
Yes, I'd like to recommend that we withdraw the item number 300 new business approval contract for Mid Tower. Needs some more work. And also, I'd like to insert a proposed lease agreement between Episcopal Children's Services Incorporated and the City of Mount Dora relating to 1560 North Highlands facility for the Head Start program.
I move the approval of the agenda with those changes, Mr. Chairman.
A second.
Okay, motion second, all in favor?
Aye.
Any objections? Hearing none, so moved. Okay. We have another proclamation that I'm going to give tonight. Mr. McKinney? That's fine. Whereas the Mount Dora is chosen home of many Vietnamese Americans, and whereas significant contributions have been made to the city of Mount Dora by the Vietnamese American through their cultural, religious, and political lives, and whereas the vast majority of Vietnamese Americans embrace the yellow and three red stripe flag as the heritage and freedom flag of the Vietnamese American community. And whereas the city of Mount Dora Vietnamese American community proudly recognizes this, the heritage and freedom flag. And whereas I, Nick Dren, Mayor, City of Mount Dora, Florida, formally recognize the heritage and freedom flag as the official symbol of the city of Mount Dora's Vietnamese American community to promote freedom and democracy in their country of origin. I do hereby extend greetings and best wishes to all observing the heritage and freedom flag.
Good evening. Thank you so much for this opportunity there to receive this proclamation from all of you. We thank you, the Mayor Nick Tyrone, City Manager Kim Lindberg, all the council members, citizens, Quinn, and many other families and friends. I tell you how excited I was. 1965, I came over here, and this country lived in Mount Dora. I was the son of Mount Dora. Graduated from Mount Dora High School. Speak like a Southern Vietnamese. When I came into this country, I didn't know no knowledge of English. But I had to, my brother and sister gave me a dictionary about this thing. So if you go to the restroom, you got to go there. So they showed me what to do. But 51 years ago, that I came and live here in this city of Mount Dora, have business in Mount Dora. And it's an honor for us to accept the proclamation, especially for the city of Mount Dora. It means a lot to me. This is my home now. This is the land of opportunity, where many of us that are able to work, live, and do many things that you like to do if you focus into the situation that you want to get into. I'm sure that many of you know me and some of them don't. But we all human beings. We set a goal and we're gonna work toward it. As a Mount Durham High School hurricane graduate, we really wanted to do something and give back to the people that have been supporting us and bless us, and we want to do something back. Definitely, not for us as much right now that we speak, but for our children, our grandchildren, that we're able to grow stronger and have the same freedom and opportunity that me and my family have. Not just my family, but my country as well. And you well know the country that disappeared, but we're not going, we're going to persevere. We want to make this continue to the land of freedom. We work together. This proclamation, I'll tell you how excited I was. The last thing we did was I was so excited when I said that we're going to have this proclamation at 6 o'clock. And nobody, last time everybody thought it was 6 o'clock in the morning. So we lost sleep. But everybody traveled all the way from Atlanta, from Miami, 6 o'clock in the morning. And they called me up, well, it's jet black outside. Nobody, not even breakfast open place yet. So we just had, oh my goodness, what we're going to do. But you know what? We pulled through. Nobody know any different. We put it through. That we appreciate that as well. But we're very, very happy to be here tonight. And I just make it, I know it's a long process, but we make it short. We had a few people I'd like to introduce to you as well. Okay? First of all, this gentleman is a Dr. Hoy. He's the president of the Federation of Vietnam American Community of the United States of America. Mr. Lưu Văn Tươi, he's a president board of supervisors Federation of Vietnam. Number 3, Mr. Nguyễn Trung Châu, former president of organization of the Federation. Number 4, Colonel USA FVB United States Air Force Volunteer Reserve 42 Brigade Commander. One short comment about him. He's my brother too. And he's the one that really do everything for me to come over to this country. Without him, I don't think I'd be here. Okay? Pastor Nguyễn Văn Ngọc is the Orlando Vietnamese SDA Church. 6, the songwriter, Mr. Trương Tiến. They're all at Palm Beach, right? Palm God, okay, Palm City, okay. And then number 7, Mr. Phạm Hồng Hải of the Republic of Vietnam Air Force, veteran of Florida. The last thing, who's I know how to do this. Everybody know what this is, right? Right? We all know, okay? Yeah. If we take this, 1, okay? It's an individual, right? We broke off, right? Try 2. Try all of this. You're not going to break because we want to get and then I wish I thank you all of you. Thank you so much for the opportunity again. We could talk about all day long, but we have to. Okay, now, let me, can I introduce you? He might be able to speak for 3 minutes, okay? Did you come in and say a few words? Really quickly, okay? We gotta go.
We have Team Jack Mayor. And ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Federation of Vietnamese American Community of the USA, I'm very honored to be here to attend ceremony. And I'd like to say thank of you, all of you, for acceptance, for proclamation of Vietnamese American flag of freedom and flag of heritage of Vietnamese American community in the Mount Dora. Thank you very much.
Let's take a picture and then we just go ahead and do we give the flag for the city of Mount Dora, okay? And then we done. All right?
Freedom and heritage, Vietnamese American. Thank you very much.
On behalf of the city, we proudly accept the flag, and we will find a place to put it in here in the city hall. Thank you very much.
Mayor, if we could have one of these every week for every council meeting.
That'd be very nice.
You're all welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting if you like, but you're also welcome to leave if you want also. So you're not forced to stay for the whole meeting. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you. Take care.
You're welcome. See you again soon. Yes. It was wonderful.
We can visually see what we thought back in the 1960s.
Okay, return to the order, and, that whole business approval of maximum tentatively proposed millage rate for fiscal year 2016-17, Mr. Linebaugh.
Mr. Mayor, City Council.
I'm sorry, get read up. Yes, you were, okay. Have the approval of the, what's the other one? We have approval of the minutes from July 5th and July 19th. So moved.
Second.
Any corrections? Seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Any objections? Hearing none, so moved. Okay, your Biscuit, case for the approval, the maximum tentatively proposed millage rate for fiscal year 2016-17, Mr. Arnold.
Mr. Mayor, City Council members, we had presented a budget to you based upon our current millage levy of 5.9970, and we are recommending the approval of that as a tentative millage rate for next fiscal year 2016-17.
Motion for approval?
So moved.
I move, I second.
Okay. First, second, any discussion?
I would just like to point out the same levies we've had for the past couple of years, including the current fiscal year. Just a reminder, we all know, recall, I'm assuming that we can't vote to vote this without a great deal of effort, notice, and expense. But I think it's a little
I agree, we have a lot on our plate, and, this will allow us to do a lot of what we want to do. It won't be everything, but, we prioritize it, so.
I think by the last council meeting that we had with the workshop, that generated a lot of good ideas that would still allow, I think the state, they're gonna be, the staff will stay below that millage rate, so, this is a max, it is not, that we can't, and have a budget a little bit lower, but we could go higher, but like it's been pointed out to us, hey, we were talking a paperwork nightmare, and not earlier enough procedure to go ahead and do that, so I think we're good where we're at.
Also, if you could include the dates of the hearings in the motion.
Okay.
The second degree is to include those who promote the moving party votes.
What are those dates again, please?
The first hearing will be September 8th at 5:30 here in the council chambers. And the second hearing will be Thursday, September 22nd at 5:30 in the council chambers.
Okay. Are we scheduled for any other workshops on the budget between now and then?
Well, we have on the 15th, we'll be talking about the special events. And as of yet, we don't have any official, if you're talking about tomorrow? That's from the old schedule.
I don't want to do that. Okay. If we need one, let us, we'll have another meeting, so if we have to have another one in August sometime, we can, those time we can do it, so.
Yeah, we can still schedule one. We're working on making the changes and trying to keep everything status quo as far as the military goes.
Okay, we have a motion second of the changes, adding those two dates. We have, everybody in favor? Let me go to roll call. Audience? That's all. Okay, you're right, I didn't have myself there. Does anybody from the audience wish to talk on this issue? Seeing none, back to the council.
Yeah, I have one more. Just for those who perhaps don't have the paperwork in front of them, the average home in Mount Dora is valued at $170,000, and with the homestead exemption, the assessable value is about $120,000. And so your total Mount Dora tax that stays with the city on that amount is approximately $720. And for that small amount, we get a world-class police department, we get a world-class fire department, we get beautiful parks, we get good maintenance of our streets, we get special events that are, second to none, that bring people into the town and make us proud to live here. So I just kind of wanted to throw those numbers out because that affects all of us in our pocketbooks. To me, $720 a year is a pretty darn good deal. So that's all I want to say.
Mr. Creel?
Yes.
Mr. Rolfson?
Yes.
Ms. Tillett?
Yes.
Mr. Roulette?
Yes.
Mr. Jerome?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, under, new business, we have consideration of interlocal agreement with Lake County for provision of library services for the period October 1 through September 30, 2019.
Mr. Mayor and City Council members, as Stephanie comes up to the podium, this is the interlocal agreement for the next 3 years. We are recommending approval. The interlocal agreement with Lake County, and Stephanie will elaborate and also talk about one provision that was agreed upon and provided to you today. If you go ahead, please, Stephanie.
Okay. Once every 3 years, we get to have this fun. And this is a very important document for us. is how the county pays the 9 cities and how they pay us to provide service throughout the whole county. And we had the city attorney look it over, and the lawyer according to it made numerous recommendations, and she worked with the county attorney, and they came to agreement. And in fact, this document will probably be used in 3 years because it clarified a lot of good points. The difference, there's one part that suggested that the county didn't, under mediation, legal fees, jury trial waiver, the prevailing party shall be entitled to recover fees and costs, including legal fees up to and including appellate. And the county felt like that was would have a chilling effect, and it is the county's philosophy not to pursue legal. So they worked it out, and that part came out. So we're still recommending approval. We get many good things from the county, and not just money. They give us our online catalog. Instead of we have about 85,000 items in our library, but it gives access to over 600,000 items to our residents. So the whole catalog shows everything in this 6 branches and 9 city libraries. We also get replacement computers. Every 5 years, they update or sooner if needed. Online databases. Just because it's on the internet, that doesn't mean it's correct, folks. So that's why we have online databases, to give people a chance to research. Courier service. If you want something from Claremont, you can put it on hold. It will be sent here. You can pick it up and you can return it in Lady Lake if you want to. It doesn't matter. E-books. That's very popular now. As we call them, tree books not going away, but e-books are very popular. And we get a lot of help in our youth and adult programming and literacy services, to name just a few. I can go on, but I think you get the picture.
I move approval of the document with the exception of paragraph 22 and page 17, with that be eliminated from the document.
It was.
No.
I see. Never mind. Sorry, I just move approval of the document.
A second.
Okay, any other discussion?
Just to compliment, Ms. Stillett mentioned a lot of great services that we enjoy in Mount Dora. I was at the library today. Square foot per square foot, I don't think there's a library anywhere that gets more use by a more diverse group of people. There are kids in there being tutored and people getting help with language skills and taxes and all sorts of things. It's a wonderful place, and that's a tribute to you and your staff.
Yes, my staff couldn't do it without the staff. Staff is great. And I'm going to give them these. We do enjoy this food. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other comments from council? Hearing none, any comments from the public on this matter? Seeing none, back to council. Any more? None? Do we have a roll call vote, please?
Mr. Ralston?
Yes.
Ms. Tillett?
Yes.
Mr. Rolette?
Yes.
Mr. Crail?
Yes.
Mr. Jerome?
Yes. Approval to purchase electrical box retrofit for the wastewater treatment plant in Chambon.
Mr. Mayor and City Council members, this is a proprietary request of an amount of $17,365. These are custom-made boxes to house electrical equipment. They were placed at an improper grade. There's something to flooding, and so we need to have the company come back in and replace them at the proper grade for safety and for reliability. So we're recommending that we approve this to purchase
for the wastewater treatment plant number 2, money is available in our upgrade budget for this purpose.
Okay, is there any liability to the contractor as he was in there in the beginning?
I'm not aware of any. We accepted it for whatever reason some time ago, so I'm not aware of the liability at this point. It's something we can ask.
Depending on, the council can comment, but depending upon how long the road and statutes of limitation and so forth, like discovery, things like that. That's probably a long time ago. Do you know how long it was?
I don't.
Well, definitely. Was there, does anybody,
Charles, okay, we're not sure yet.
okay, just wanted to, when you did a large project like that, was any performance bonds involved in or anything like that? With the contractor? You can do it, Hitch, if you can. I'm to fill that.
Charles Russell, electrical building manager. It's my understanding that this happened quite a while back. And basically, the lids of these electrical boxes were too low because the boxes were installed too low. And this solution is basically to raise the lids up so the water will not get in there. The boxes are no longer manufactured by the company that originally manufactured them, and this is a retrofit kit. As far as what happened in the past, I don't remember.
But this predates you, correct?
Yes.
You're right.
He said it, I did.
Mr. Olson, this is supposed to be kind of like a kumbaya type. This kind of was already saying was placed there. I apologize, sir. Right. Have a motion for approval. Safety first, I approve. Second. First and second. Any other comments from the council? Any comments from the public on this matter? Seeing none, back to the council. We have an roll call vote, please.
Mr. Roulette,
Yes.
Mr. Crown,
Yes.
Mr. Robson,
Yes.
Ms. Tillett,
Yes.
Mr. Jerome,
Yes. Okay, you have that good item, and for the contract with, the Episcopal Church, New Episcopal Church, I think it's called. Yeah.
Mr. Mayor, City Council members, we own property at 1560 North Highland Street that had been utilized by a different agency to provide Head Start program for children, needy children in our community in the area. That agency has lost the contract for Head Start program, and the new agency is the Episcopal Children's Services Incorporated, and we are proposing to execute and recommending executing a lease agreement with this, with the ECS for 1 year, same terms, same, updated though in terms of reliability, that sort of thing. It came from our city attorney. And in order to keep our program going, which is very worthwhile and very necessary in our opinion, so we're asking you to please approve this lease agreement with Episcopal Children's Services. It'll be 5 years with, if both parties agree, subsequent 5-year terms after that.
So moved.
Second.
I support this for the reasons that I'm going to mention. This is a very important part of the Necker community, having this daycare setting there. I heard about this several weeks ago from a concerned person in that area. In fact, that person was my barber, or my hairstylist, actually.
Good job.
And she was very concerned about making sure that that didn't fall through the cracks for her child. And the problem is that the rumors were out there that this was going to, they're going to start charging much more money, or money at all. I don't know. I think it's basically a free service, but they're going to charge a lot of money. And I was glad to hear from the people that are in the know that they're going to be assurance by the Episcopal Children's Services, if they're gonna basically do the same thing. We need to clean up that area significantly. Is in significant need of upgrading. There are some environmental and other issues that are safety issues that need to be attended to. So I would request that our manager make sure that the group that will be taking over this lease takes a look at that for the safety of the children that will be there. And I won't detail it here, but as was explained, some of the safety issues are significant. So it's just that they need to be looked at for the safety of the kids that are there. And I support, we need to continue that program and support children good with the girls. Thank you.
Mr. Olson, the rumors you heard were true, and the LCAA, the Community Action, came met with Mr. Langell and myself, and made a presentation that they were going to do exactly what they've been doing with the children. And since they were long-term residents of that, doing that program over there, we initially set out to allow them to go ahead and continue with that, servicing that. And then when that was done, we started getting a couple phone calls, and like you did. And so anyway, we did some research, and we called Mr. Lowe back in here again, and come to find out that he was going to have to charge some things, and it wasn't the same that he initially told us. It wasn't going to be the same identical thing. So at that point, we scurried and salvaged the deal with the fiscal to make sure that everything's all online in time for the school. So
Well done.
thank you. So with that, any other comments from the council? Any comments from the public on this? Yes. State your name and address, please.
Shire McGuire, 951 Liberty Avenue, Mount and we're just curious, the city owns this property?
Yes.
So the city will be making these safety and improvements and cleaning up and doing that good stuff for the
That's their
children?
responsibility.
Yes?
That's their responsibility, the leasing agency.
I don't understand that.
They can do that as a condition of leasing.
Yes.
Yeah, that's part of the lease, the operation maintenance, people, the buildings, their obligation. For the dollar on year of lease.
Oh, okay. All right, thank you. I want to make sure you're done.
Good for you. Anybody else from the public? See none else for council again? Please.
Mr. Creel?
Yes.
Mr. Rolette?
Yes.
Mr. Rolfson?
Yes.
Ms. Tillett?
Yes.
Mr. Jerome?
Yes. To city attorney update.
I have nothing for the good of the order this evening.
I'll give you something first. City manager update.
And actually,
Mr. Bruce.
and nor do I, this was the item I had for the agenda, was the lease, and that was it.
Okay, city council comments. Anybody? Mr. Rolette.
What is the status of the resurfacing at that?
Okay, servicing is going to take just slightly longer, but it is under schedule. Unfortunately, with all the work being done on summertime, asphalt is out of the road already right now, but that's on the list and it will be done probably a little bit later than what they anticipated starting. And Mr. Peters isn't here, but Mr. Peters is doing the coordination with the county as far as it being done. Try to get it done as soon as we can. It won't be done I don't think it's gonna be done before September 1st. They keep asking, but we are on their list. We do have the agreement with them, have everything we need with them, so, we'll stay on. We keep the signs, ready for this is your tax dollars, your county tax dollars.
Remember, you've got a gavel or two, this can use it not only on the table, but somebody's head, maybe.
The walk path from the library to Forest Road. You get that fence up, something like that. I've been glad there's getting grown up.
It's on our schedule to put up the fence.
Well, it's being used, and, just okay.
Yeah, we will try to expedite the placement of the fence.
Yeah, maybe go next week.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir. That's
Comments, Mayor and council members. I want to remind everybody again, which I did at the prior council meeting, the open house that is scheduled at the Martin Luther King Center is coming up on Thursday, day after tomorrow, 1 till 6 p.m. It's come and go. There'll be various presentations. It's your time to give a comment to them on the study that they're doing, how we can upgrade that part of our community. And so I urge everybody to consider taking a time off, an hour or whatever, and giving them your comments. That part of our Mount Dora is just as much a part of our community as our downtown, so I want to make sure that we don't weigh in. So that's all right. Thank you.
I'm assuming that the stormwater improvements in the Northeast are on track, or they're still moving ahead. I haven't been up there in a while. There's my big driveway, and signs of pavement being torn up.
As far as I know, they're still in the plan. I don't know if they've started yet, but they certainly are in the plan, and because we approved and supported that previously. Like everything, I'm not even looking at the line for some.
Just let council know, we started the negotiations with Mr. Hayes, and the council appointed as the new city manager, and hopefully we'll have all wrapped up in 2 days, and so we can present a contract to the council. I like to, it depends on the time when we need to do with this, and I'm not sure, but if I need to do a special meeting, I'll let everybody know that we want to keep things within a good time frame. That's all I have. That's it. Anybody else? Okay. Move to adjourn second. Thank you.